check it out. Before we jump in, a quick heads up. This episode contains humor and commentary that might push some boundaries or touch on sensitive topics. The views expressed are those of the host and guests and are meant for entertainment purposes only. Listener discretion is advised.
I'm living the life of a hack 80s comic from Evening at the Improv. It's everything they said it was. You get annoyed, you miss your personal space. Like, it's everything they told me marriage was.
Jim Brewer.
Jim
Brewer.
Jim Brewer.
Jim Brewer.
Jim Brewer.
Hey, this is Jim Brewer.
Some people guessed what that song was. Try another one. I'm going to give you one right now. You ready for this one, Mike?
Do it.
Okay, hold on. Any clue? It's Metallica.
I know that.
I don't want Norton seeing me doing this. It's already going to start the conversation. Weird. I'll let who I saw they had fun trying to figure that out. We'll do that. You let that settle in, Mikey.
You got it, dude.
This is a segment where my father-in-law tries to tell jokes. I've never seen anyone laugh so hard at attempting to tell jokes. And I gave him some good ones. I think I gave him some good ones. And trust me, a lot of people on social media reached out to me, you guys, and you started sending me jokes. Send the jokes. We got to get the Herbinator. We got to get him. He's going back to New Jersey, so I'm losing him out of Florida. Tomorrow. So I'm like, I got to get these jokes in. So without further ado,
it's Herb's joke time. Give it a try.
Are you ready to start telling some jokes?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Go ahead. Let's see our first joke. Here we go.
Hi, Swagger Boy. Your mama's so fat. When she got on the scale, it said, I need your weight, not your phone number. Oh, boy.
Jeez.
Okay. Next joke. The Herbinator. More.
Your mama's so fat, I took a picture of her last Christmas and it's still printing. I don't know these guys.
Now, do you remember when I was on the Uptown Comedy Club?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, that was funny. That was real funny.
I used to be on the Uptown Comedy Club back in 1992, 93,
Yeah.
and they would do
Back and forth like
they would do the whole "Your mother's so
you
fat."
and that guy, what was his name? Rob
McNighty.
Yeah,
Rob McNighty.
Yeah.
Cornwin, all that. Yeah. So I thought your mama jokes you might bring back. Okay. Next Herbinator joke.
Your mama's so fat. She went to the beach. A whale swam up and sang, "We your family, even though you're fatter than me."
Don't die. Don't
No,
die.
It's the punchlines.
Don't pass out. All right. What else you got?
All right. Your mama's so ugly. When she tried to join the ugly contest, they said, "Sorry, no professionals."
Do you see what I live with? How fun is this? How fun was this? I give him a joke. He can't do it. I laugh harder watching him try to tell the joke. I laugh harder watching him try to tell the joke. All right. Go ahead. What's the next one?
Your mom is so fat. When she fell, no one was laughing except the crowd was cracking up.
What? Let's just wait. Wait. Hold on.
Let me do it again.
Yeah, take your time. Take your time. I don't care if you laugh. It's all good.
Your mom is so fat that when she fell, no one was laughing, but the ground was cracking up.
Oh God.
Oh boy.
We're gonna have to start our own YouTube channel for this guy. Okay. Go ahead. Go ahead. Keep it going.
The other one. Teachers, the kids. What does a chicken give you? A student. Meat. Teacher. Very good. Now, what does a pig give you? Student. Bacon. Teacher. Great. And what does the fat guy? What does a fat cow give you? Homework.
Oh,
Oh. Oh God. Herbinator coming alive. The Herbinator.
Wow. My friend thinks he's real smart. He told me an onion is the only food that would make you cry. So I threw a coconut in his face. Hard coconut.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. So
Onions, the only thing that makes you cry, so he threw a coconut at his face. Okay.
That hurt.
If you got jokes, submit them. Go to our website.
I'll laugh at him.
And I think the more you can't make him get through them, I think the funnier they are. The funnier they are. Those you mama jokes were killing you today. They were killing you today. I like the ugly one too. Your mama's so ugly. She showed up for an ugly contest. And they said, sorry, we don't take professionals. Amateurs only. All right, man. Please welcome Mr. Jim Norton.
Hey Jim, how you doing?
Jimbo!
No,
What
let
are
me
you
ask you.
doing?
I thought this was a Zoom call. We're in StreamYard, so like I don't have any backgrounds in StreamYard, and I don't even. Are you hearing me through this or through this? I don't know.
I don't know either, but it sounds amazing.
Oh, it does sound pretty good.
Yeah, sounds really good.
Okay, I'm hoping it's this thing then. Okay, because I'm not that familiar with using it in StreamYard. How you doing, man?
I'm good. Look at me. Wait, are you wearing glasses?
I am. You know, these are readers. I got them from this woman named Jenny Hutt, and they bend down. How hateable is that? They bend down. Don't you want to punch me in the face? They bend down. They're these because I break them all the time. Like you take them off. They're $50 glasses, $40 glasses. So I buy a box at a time, and they do this. Like if you want to take a nap, they're the best. But I don't care if I break them. But people hate that when for dramatic effect you go, I didn't hear, like, drop it. All right, see, I just broke my glasses. I don't care. I love them though. $40 a pair, $50 a pair. So if you break them, it's not the end of the world.
Jimbo, what do you do? How are you, man? How are you?
I'm good, but I'm fat. Like I'm at that place where the holidays got away from me. And by holidays, I mean 4th of July. I've been eating like a dude. I've been eating like a pig for 8 months. So I just started my diet again yesterday after the Super Bowl. I'm like, let me have one more really bad day of eating, and I'll start.
Bro, what you were on a kick though for a while. There's something trigger, and you. It's almost like a junkie. I'm the same way. I'll go into like right now. I'm in the gym zone, but now I'm kind of slipping out. I'm like, well, because I go to the gym, I can fucking have one extra and eat a box of cookies.
Yeah, for me it was like, it's the dopamine. It's like any drug, right? It's like just getting a little bit more and a little bit more. And when I stopped, like, when I got into my relationship, I stopped like seeing escorts and all that stuff. So like that, believe me, that was great for weight loss. Like, cause that's where all my dopamine was coming from. Hey, you want to go out? I can't, I'm going to the gym, it's just some girl's house. But that was really good for weight loss because like that was the drug I was using. But then when you're like not cheating and you're not involved in that world, I started to need it from food more. And then I started like everyone else. I started in lockdown eating a little bit more, and then I ballooned up when I left. So I want to lose 25 pounds, but I'm filled with self-loathing.
So I think the last time we really talked, you had your radio thing, and I think, God, I'm trying to think. I think it was around COVID, somewhere around there. Somewhere, that's how long ago. I want to say it was at least like almost 5 years ago. And then I just started, I started seeing more of you. I'm like, oh, fucking Jimmy, I gotta talk to Jimmy. So I was like, please reach out to Jimbo and see what he's up to do. So you, dude, talk to me about marriage. What you got married? You explain it. I don't want to say it the wrong way. So
It's everything here is what marriage. I'm living the life of a hack 80s comic from Evening at the Improv. It's everything they said it was. It's fun. You get annoyed. You miss your personal space. Like, it's everything they told me marriage was. I love my wife, and I do like being married, but it's a big adjustment. It's a huge adjustment in your 50s to get married.
Yeah, but like, just listen to you. I'm just conversation.
Sure.
She's female or she's male?
Transgender.
Or
Transgender, which I know is a big like political issue.
But,
I don't mean from you, but I mean
no. What I'm going to say is what I've heard come out of you is you're the only human being that's authentic because you live it, and when it comes out of you, it's honest, it's non-confrontational, it's non-judgmental. And I've heard you start joking, and I feel it's absolutely brilliant because you're just being yourself, and you're being honest. And so I want you to know where I'm coming from. I think it's brilliant.
Thank you, buddy. And it's funny. I've shot a special, which we're editing now, and it's a lot about my marriage. What we try to do is this: we do a podcast called Sword Fight. And it's us, and we have friends of mine.
Okay. All right.
And it was either that or my wife's nuts, and we felt Sword Fight was just a slightly more dignified.
Okay.
What we try to do is this: we don't force, like, when you start forcing stuff on people, they hate you for it. Like, we just live our life, and I want people to see, like, this is who we are. Our marriage has most of the same issues as everyone else's. It drives me crazy, like it drives everyone else. I can't go out and fuck. People say to me, "Don't you miss?" Well, yeah, but like, even if she had one, I would miss everyone but hers. Like, I'm basically one down. That's how I look at it.
Yes, that's a healthy way of looking at it. Oh my God!
But it's I do like being married, but again, the challenges of it are, like, I don't want to be unfaithful. I don't want my own self-destructive or self-will stuff to, like, you know what I mean, to sabotage me being happy.
Yeah. Can I ask personal questions?
Go ahead.
Okay. So, and what I always really admired about you is how, no matter where you were at in life and whether people saw it as, no matter how people saw it, especially as a society, whatever, you just laid it on the table, and you were always, this is who I am, and that's that, and that's something I've always really admired and looked up to you about. And so, when, like, dude, was your childhood up? Like, where does were you always into chicks, or was it like guys and chicks, or like?
It's a little bit of yes to everything you're saying. Like, I don't think that, like, even if I had a very healthy, normal childhood, I don't think that would have affected whether or not I was attracted to somebody male or trans or female or 100. Like, I think if the fucked up childhood tends to bring people towards abusive people. Like if
Right.
like, you know what I mean? Like if you have a fucked up childhood, I think you're much more likely to get involved with someone who mistreats you or who hits you or cheats on you. Like you know what I mean? Like abusive women marry abusive men. They don't marry
Right.
trans men. So I think my childhood was very sexualized, very fucked up. And my therapist is like, "You were molested," but I'm like, "No, they were all kids my age. They were my friends. We were each other. I mean, it really was. I mean, it was Edison was a party back in 1974.
The Roman Empire had nothing on Edison, New Jersey.
It was crazy. Tiberius, Caligula, yeah, all the Caesars were there. But it was, it was a little messed up. My childhood, sure.
All right, but what I love about you, honest, listen, man. You know, I've heard Colin talk about stuff like this. Colin talked about like in a one man plays like, well, so brought me in a closet or whatever, where he said, but that is such a taboo thing, and I'm gonna go out on a limb and say, especially 80s kids, that happened to way more kids than anyone can imagine, because I know 100%. I will never say who, what, or whatever, because I knew it was all innocent. I knew it was all innocent at that time because we were children. I remember being brought into a shed, and I was like, what is going on right now? Like, what just happened? What just happened? And I also, between you and me, I think pornography too, or the one kids went to Catholic church. I don't know if something happened to them, but and I'm not saying they're involved. Whoops. Whoopsie daisy. But pornography. I remember when when somebody found a tape, and we as kids, because I still even think a 16-year-old's a kid, a 17-year-old is growing up, but still a child, 12, 13, 14, even younger now. When you see a man, a penis, or whatever sexualization, dude, I remember. I think my first was Debbie Dallas, and I was a Cowboys fan. I was a Cowboys fan. So you're a Cowboys fan. Like, oh my God, it's a Cowboy cheerleader. Is this what chicks do? Is it a Cowboy? And you're like, oh my God, we were just playing Ringalario and red light, green light, 1, 2, 3, and now I saw the whole world differently, and it was the first time I understood how that can make people extremely sexual, and that is the cause of a lot of dangerous sexual minds, and it alters minds. Not that they would kill or rape, but it alters what it's supposed to be. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think it's like anything else. It's like alcohol, or it's like the abuse of anything like that, or the overuse or incorrect use of it really does screw you up. Like, I know guys who will watch porn. They're like healthy. They'll like look at it on their phones. They'll masturbate and they're done in 3 minutes, and that's the end of it for 2 weeks. Like, they have a healthy relationship with it. They kind of use it like, wow, this is a sexy, fun thing to do once in a while.
Sure.
Whereas me, the first time I saw it, because I have that addict mentality, like I just can't stop. I remember the first pornographic pictures I ever saw. And by the way, I don't blame.
I remember mine too. Yeah.
It would be funny if it was the same guy.
God, mine wasn't a guy.
It was a hardcore picture. It was a woman laying on her back.
Yeah.
And she was between two guys. I remember the guy's mutton chops, because again, it was probably 1973. I found the picture in the woods, and there was two guys on one girl, but I can picture it like I saw it yesterday. Like, I don't remember the first time I hold hands. I don't remember the first girl I kissed, but I remember that image.
I still think the reason I'm an ass guy is because that was my first pornographic picture. It was this incredible, and the thing made me nuts, made me psychotic.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think people really underestimate that. So, all right, that So that most likely, and people don't realize the addicting and then getting into that, because I do know people that were abused,
Sure.
and now they went on to a path, and some of them,
Yeah.
they're all in trouble, whatever, and some of them still very quiet and have issues like this guy can't get it up, and I know why he can't get up anymore. Because something happened to it, but he'll never say that to anyone because it's such a harsh embarrassment.
Shame.
It's shame. It's shame.
Yeah.
But I feel like you don't have the shame. How are you able to conquer that? How are you able to conquer that shame? Because as long as I've known you, and listen, I'll be honest with you, there's times I'm like, I wish you wouldn't say that, or dude, that's
Sure.
I can't jump in with you on that one. But
Sure.
you're laying it on the line. I like that you are that honest, and you're looking for the funny route in it too. It's the shameless, but not a mean shame, not
No.
I don't care. It was just like, hey man, this is who I am. This is who I am, whether you like it or not.
It's one of those things where I do have shame. Like, I've basically been grabbed by both toes and dipped in shame. Like, the only thing that doesn't have shame are my 2 fat toenails. Oh yeah. I'm lacquered in shame. Like, I'm shining with shame. I am shame, Jim. But you learn how to make it funny, because it's not just shame about that. It's more like a shame of who I am as a person, or my thoughts, or that I'm not good at things. Like, it's not rational, and I know it's not rational. And when it comes to sexual stuff, I know that everyone has secrets. So, and like, I've been with a lot of trans girls, and if you want to know what celebrities trans girls, a few of them, and they tell. So, like, the amount of people who I know, I would never say it either. I'm like, I would never say it. I would never out people. But I mean, like, I don't judge my insides with other people's outsides, as they say.
Right.
And I feel like if you're not hurting anybody, I have no shame in my marriage or my life, because we're not hurting anybody. Like, I'm an adult. We made an adult decision. This is who I love.
Right.
And I don't. That I have no shame about. I the shame about stuff from, like, what makes me into being Jim Norton, like that type of, like, deep rooted shit. But it has nothing to do with my active life now. I'm actually happy. And I don't care if people, the key is not to care if people approve it. Like, when you go out in life, right, and you're talking about yourself, and you have your hat in your hand, and you're going, hey guys, this is, and you're almost begging people to accept it. I think you put yourself against the 8 ball that way. But if you give it to people and you go, look, I'm trying to be funny, it's my job. And if you accept it, great. I want you to accept it. But if you don't, great. I don't care. Like, it's fine with me. It's truly fine with me if people don't. There's no one in my life I wouldn't cut out. There's no one whose approval I feel like I need. I interviewed Trump a year and a half ago. He wasn't running. He was, like, for UFC, because I co-host the UFC podcast with Matt Serra.
Okay.
And, I know Don Jr. for a long time, and we have, whatever, one of the guys from their camp call goes, hey, do you want to interview President Trump?
Yeah.
And in Vegas for you, I'm like, yes, of course.
Right.
So we went out, I brought Nikki with me, and I introduced her to him, and she loves it, So, like, there's nobody I'm afraid to bring my wife around, or nobody that I wouldn't introduce her to, or it's not a hidden thing. That's my point.
Yeah, that's dude, that's interesting. You do what are you talking to Trump about at that time? Because I'm assuming, tell me, how did that go?
It was one of those things where I had a whole bunch of questions. I wanted to ask about North Korea, because there's things I don't agree with him on at all. And then there's other things that I really liked that he did. One of the things I love that he did was North Korea. I just love that he really tried there, and I thought it took great balls, and I admired him for it.
Yeah.
But I wasn't going to be an aggressive interview, because I don't hate him at all. I don't even dislike him.
Right.
But Dana, because it was UFC, wanted the interview to be sports, because it's a sports podcast.
Right.
And Trump was a friend of the UFC long before they had anything to really give back other than small shows. Right. So they're very loyal to him as a friend, and I was fine with that. So we talked to Trump for almost 40 minutes about boxing and old UFC fights.
Wow.
And his memory was so good that like people thought we had cue cards for him because he had such a memory for all of these old fights. And I felt like he really enjoyed the interview because there was no trying to get you. There was no defensive. It was just a fun talk about, and again, I was on the UFC podcast. It wasn't the Jim Norton show. That's who I was working for. And I enjoyed the interview a lot. He was great. He was nice to everybody in the room. But it was a fun conversation. I would love to have asked other things, but that was still really interesting to hear his brain for 40 minutes just recall old sporting events and old fights.
Wow. I can't believe I gotta get a copy of that. That's got to be on. That's YouTube, no?
It's on YouTube somewhere, sure, and I've seen it. But he couldn't have been nicer. I mean, but he wasn't running yet. It was a year ago, July, and he was still gearing up to run. Like we knew he was going to, but it was before like this final push.
I know, but what's cool is just like what you said. It's like he didn't have to sell himself.
Yeah,
he wasn't being attacked. And you may have been one of the only people that got to see, oh wow, I'm safe to just have a conversation about something we're both interested in. That's not political, whatever. Damn, I gotta listen to that one, man. I gotta listen to that one. So, back to what you were just talking to before that, I try to explain people, what will make me nuts sometimes is people go, well, I get that you were subjected to whatever sexuality, or I get that you were molested when you were 8, or I get that you have everyone has to grow up and get over or face your demon or whatever. And those statements drive me nuts because they're usually from people that never lived it, never lived any type of trauma that they had to emotionally carry for years, or B, maybe they did do it and they just expect it's such a people are so out of their leagues when they say, to me it's such an ignorant statement, and I can relate it just with my own family and people that have passed. I had a family member that never, God rest her soul, she couldn't get over the train that happened to her, and quite frankly, I don't know if anyone ever could. And it was a struggle that I had too. It was very hurtful to watch her, take herself down. But again, it's just, I guess all I'm doing is praising how you just put it out there, and your honesty with it all is very. It's really. Dude, I hate constantly saying the word brilliant, but I think it's brilliant.
Thank you.
Because
Thanks, Jim.
It's such a non-judgmental thing. That's what I love about it.
I try to avoid falling into traps. Sometimes you learn from people, right? But I also learn from what not to do. And when I see people going a certain way and constantly pounding messages or constantly dictating to people, it's not what I want to be as a comic. Like I want people, it's fun, because I say things in New York, I talk about Trump, and I'm pretty fair when I make fun of the president, or I talk about, I'm pretty fair, and I say a lot of things that New Yorkers, it's not negative enough for most New Yorkers, or if I find a positive thing to say, I say it. And to watch them give in and laugh at something that I know they don't agree with politically, but it's just a good joke. Right. I'm like Gutfeld all the time. And I love that show because Greg never demands you have any point of view. He doesn't care. You don't have to vet what you're going to say. As long as you're funny, that's all he cares about.
That's all he cares about.
That's fair.
Because you've been there. We've all been there, especially you. You have your own show, and you just, when you have a guest, you're like, please just, all I need is a little break today, and I know you're going to deliver. This is like having a baseball team. Oh my God, he's playing today. He's going to hit some ball. We're going to score once. It's going to be great. Everything's going to be great. Is your special already out? What are you working on? I'd even look into it, so I apologize.
No, that's okay. I'm the same way. I'm looking at my phone. I'm gonna raise my shade because there's a shadow on my face, and which actually the audience will probably be grateful for. The less of me you can see, the better. But I'm gonna try to get this up. But that's how delusional I am. Oh, Jim, people want to see more of me. What an ass. Let me raise this up a little bit. I have this app on my phone which helps raise.
And we'll have. Are you actually look? And Mike will find it. I'll find it too, dude. Were you in What did I see a clip? Was it Kill Tony?
Oh yeah, I'm
like
on
that,
there.
bro?
I did it last night. It aired, but I was. I've done quite a few of those. Whenever I'm in Austin, and I started taping this podcast, since I'm not at Sirius anymore. I did an advice show, so it's like this advice show podcast, and it's really been fun. And I've only had 5 of them come out, but I went down to Austin to tape a couple of the comics down there. I do it with a comic. It's really fun. People call in, they talk. I would love to have you on, but I only do it in person, so I didn't realize you're in Florida. So whenever you're here, I would love to have you on.
Yeah,
It's
dude,
fun.
I'll come down there. I'd love to. I plan on. I'm not. It's funny. I'm not touring this year. I don't want to. It's the first time in my life where I'm like,
Right.
I just don't want to. I just want to. I want to do other things for a while. And I just don't care. Not that I don't care. I'm just.
Right.
We've been around long enough. We're like, I've seen this. I've done that. I just whatever keeps life moving in a good direction.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll definitely head to Austin. I'd love to. It's a good scene, and man, I killed Tony. He's got an awesome thing going, especially when you're, dude. I have kids. When my kids are like, Dad, you gotta get on Kill Tony. You don't. I'm like, oh, you need it. He's like, Dad, are you out of your mind? I'm like, all right. All right.
You'd be great on it too, because the comedians come out, they do 1 minute. You don't interrupt the minute. You just watch them do the minute, and then you play with them and talk to them. I can't really on new comics, but it's fun to go back and forth. And Tony is really a fast improver. Hinchcliffe is very lightning fast.
Yes.
And the show is really run well, and Red Band is hilarious with the sound clips. So it's a very easy thing for a comic to do. You just kind of sitting there and riffing off of with talking to these guys, and you'd be masterful at it because you're also compassionate enough to be nice to a new guy and still be funny.
Yeah, well, that's to be honest with you, Jim. He's asked, and I'm glad you said it. My big thing, which is why roast and everything, it's not in my blood unless you're in my circle and we're I really know you. Then I have no problem going for your throat and trying to make you bulimic by the time I'm done with this conversation. But like a new kid, I'm like, I can't. I have a hard time. So, all right, but you give me it. I guess my fear is just being myself, and hopefully that's good enough for him. You want to deliver.
Of course.
You'd
be great. Jim, you'd be
get
great on the show, and you could always, because you're a great comic, you could literally give them, hey, this is what I think you did wrong. Like there's guys who I've seen came out, and I'm like, you know what? Next time you might want to get to the punchline a little bit fast. Like try to give them something that would actually be helpful, even if it's critical. But I don't like to attack them just because, again, they're brand new, and I would have hated that if someone did.
You just gave me the angle. You just gave me the angle that I would feel comfortable with.
Yeah, you'd be great.
I love you. Hey, man, I love you, brother.
I love you too, Jim.
I'm so glad we're still alive and kicking it, doing what we do. I'll make sure everyone knows where to find you, the podcast and all that jazz. Mike is going to post it and all that. And just thanks for coming on. It's always good seeing you here, talking to you.
You too, Jim, and I appreciate it. And I'm a fan. I love what you do. I do. I think it's great, and it's always funny. So it's mutual, man. I feel the same way.
Be good. Jimmy Norton,
too, buddy.
everybody.
Thank you, Jim.
You're welcome. Thank you. And I mean everything I said about Jim, and I think Jim also helps the judgmental world. And that's a statement that I told him that I honestly feel that where, I'd go on Opie and Anthony with him, and when it comes to like pornography and paid, like it makes me because I see, what happened to these human beings. Are they being held without will? Are they drug addicts? Were they kidnapped when they were young? Like how does because for me, and that's why I wanted to talk to Jim about that stuff, because he's probably one of the only human beings I've ever met in my lifetime. Forget that he's a comedian, that is so comfortable in his skin without like I said, it's brutally honest. It's non-confrontational. It doesn't create judgment, if that makes sense. And I think he's the only person that shows you that side, because I think what Jim does with stand up, that on a deeper level, this is just me, how I've always seen Jim and how he's made me. When I see people, like if there was a time where people in my family that I know that I cared for deeply were comfortable in their own skin for whatever they were subjected to in their lifetime when they were growing up, not with my dad or anything like that, but whatever they grew up with, to watch that as a brother, as a friend, as someone that loved them to death. We all have that in our lives. And when you see someone struggling in life, it's like, just let go of that tree. I know it must be hard. Maybe they're still going over the why, and why me, and did I do that? And am I the one that made that happen? And they stay with it forever and ever. I feel Jim Norton has not only healed that, but he also understands what he's become because of it all. And some people will go, well, it's still this, or it says here in this book, what he's doing is that. And you whatever you feel you need to put the words part, or how you think your law should be on that human being. Jim Norton, time and time again, has always made me laugh so hard, and honestly has helped me see things, and help me get comfortable in my skin. And I think we all can use some of that as we go through this life change, as the ball keeps rolling, as we dig deeper into spirituality and understanding light and God and all that stuff. Check out his comedy special. It's not for everybody. It's not for everyone. But he makes me laugh hard. Jim Norton makes me laugh hard. And he was also always never hid from who he was. And I can always respect that about people. So I want to thank Jim Norton for coming by today and being part of the podcast and coming on the Breuniverse. I wish you all the best. And we'll catch up soon. Woo! We're all here in borrowed time. Let's make the best of it. See you next time on the Breuniverse. So I'm working on a thing called gene therapy, which is my good friend Gene. And if you have an issue and you want Gene to give you his way of therapy, gene therapy, send in your voicemail. Just go to jimbrewer.com, and then we know if you made it that far, you really wanted to hear some therapy. Should be good. We'll let you know when we're ready to roll with that. Gene therapy, send in your concerns or where you need help.
Keep the show rolling. Don't let me know that something's bad, because I pick up on that right away. Oh no, we're going down, and it'll look good.